All right, family. Black Power, Black Power. It's the Truth Hour with General Sarasu Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. We are excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarasu Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page, no hype needed. The link is right there in the video description, is in the chat room. You can click that link. You'll get a video introduction to the membership, to go over the membership. If you like, you see one that's so dynamic that you cannot hold back, then you should become a member today. If not, we still appreciate you. Over at the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page, continue to engage, continue to grow. That's right. Ring the alarm, generalseti.com, Seti, what I'm talking about, General King Seti. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Soon Seti DVD, lectures, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops. We got them for the kings, queens, and the children. And we have 25% off selected items at this time. That means you cannot lose. You can come see some amazing t-shirts, DVDs, jewelry, whatever you like. And you got access to 25% off when you check out. That's a nice discount. So you should take advantage of that, family. We also got home decor accessories for every room in the house. Take a look at kingseti.com and be amazed. That's right. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com. Seti University, over 1,000 video presentations on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building, mental warfare, advanced African academics, developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sarasun Seti website with that many presentations by General Seti. Behind the scenes, you see, it don't make a difference. All the subjects that you know and love from General Seti, I got that in libraries and catalog. So take a look. Thank me later. Believe it. GeneralSeti.com. Seti popping on Patreon. BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live stream. Too hot to handle on YouTube, but just so exquisite. We keep it for our family on Patreon. I'm going live tonight. Got 3 bangers tonight. So most definitely you should be in the house. Don't you dare miss it. Because this is exquisite material, family. I'll give y'all something on YouTube. I let y'all, I'll give you a little taste. Yeah, I'll give you a little taste. But when you ready for a meal, then you got to come where where we could do those things. You feel me? So get on over there to Patreon. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will most definitely ban your ass. I'll put you up out of here. All right, family. Now, here we go. More than 100. Now, they act like somebody surprised at this. We been knew this. More than 100 U.S. leaders, lawmakers, presidents, governors, and justices have slaveholding ancestors. Wow. Really? When did y'all figure that out? You see? When did y'all figure that out? And so let's get into it because and that just show you. Let me get my water, family. That just show you. If they descendants is still in power, then you already know the system has not changed. Oh, man. System ain't changed. Man who started, the process is still in process. Yeah. Say the black and white ones. Okay. That's right. That's right. So the process has not changed. And so, and it will not change until we change it. You see, let's look into what they're talking about. because they're going to call a few names, but they ain't going to call all the names. Washington, as U.S. lawmakers commemorate, and I will be discussing Juneteenth. I've been meaning to get on these niggas. And so I'll take the time. I got time today, you see. And so U.S. lawmakers commemorating the end of slavery. When was that? Thank you, family. Anybody know when the end of slavery was? Huh? Anybody know when the end of slavery was? Please let me know. Because I ain't never known the system to end. You get some reparations? Huh? Have you been repaired? Huh? Spiritually, mentally? Have you been repaired physically? Okay. And so goddamn it, the system ain't changed. So ain't no you free to do what? Waddle in misery? Okay, let's deal with it. Many of them could have looked no further than their own family histories to find a more personal connection to what's often called America's original sin. Okay? In researching the genealogy of political elite, a Rutgers examination found that a fifth of members of Congress, living presidents, Supreme Court justices, and governors are direct descendants of ancestors who enslaved Black people. Among 500, and see, that's very critical. That's very critical. And the reason why it's critical, because they always say, all white people didn't have nothing to do with slavery. All white people didn't have, well, goddamn it, they saying a fifth of the motherfuckers in power right now did. You see? And that's a substantial amount to still be in power after all this goddamn time. You see? Now, the crazy thing about it, because they act like, okay, you didn't have no slave. Motherfucker, you still was in a slave economy. So one way or another, you had some form of business or whatever that attributed to slavery. You see, you might didn't enslave, you might have made the chains. You might have made the whip. You see, but you can't tell me you in a damn slave economy and you didn't engage in some form of economics that was an extension of slavery, okay? One way or another, okay? And so we got to be clear about that. So just because you didn't have no goddamn slave didn't mean you didn't perpetrate in the system. Yes, you did. And so you're not getting away neither. Yeah, we got to get on all these goddamn Cro-Magnon Neanderthals and the niggeroids too. Yeah, we got to get on the niggeroids too. Yeah. In searching the genealogy, we went over that. Okay. Among 536 members of the last sitting Congress, for example, Rutgers determined at least 100 descend from slaveholders. Of that group, more than a quarter of the Senate, 28 members, can trace their families to at least one slaveholder. Among those lawmakers from the 117th Congress are Democrats and Republicans alike. They include some of the most influential politicians in America. Republican Senators Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Lindsey Scam, and Tom Cotton. And what kind of motherfucker right there? You already know him motherfucker named Cotton. Tom Cotton. You already know that motherfucker guilty. You know what I'm saying? Just bingo, yeah, throw his ass on it. You understand what I'm saying? In the clink. And Democrats, Elizabeth Warren, you see, Elizabeth Warren. Ain't that one to say she was an Indian or something? And they found out she wasn't shit. Tammy Duckworth. Sounds like Duckworth. Damn, ain't that the goddamn DuckTales? No, was his name Duckworth? No. No, that wasn't Duck. What's his name? Duck. One of them motherfuckers named Tammy Duckworth and Janine Shaheen. You see? And so, in addition, Rutgers determined that President Joe Biden, Joe Biden and every living former president except Donald Trump. Now, how in the fuck? How did? Except Donald Trump. Okay. Are direct descendants of slaveholders. Jimmy Carter, the Peanut Man, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and through his mother's, look at that, through his white mother's side, Barack Obama. That's why he ain't do shit for a nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all think, oh, he black. That motherfucker the slaveholder. Ain't that about a bitch? I mean, even the wannabe nigga president, he was a slaveholder too. You just ain't got no win. You ain't got no win. You out here acting like this nigga, the new Martin Luther King. And that nigga descend from goddamn slave masters. I swear to God, boy, I tell you, niggas just cannot win. And 2 of the 9 sitting U.S. Supreme Court justices. What's her name? Amy Barrett and Neil. These motherfuckers got some hell of a name. Gorsuch. Also have direct ancestors who enslaved people, black people. In 2022, 11 of the 50 U.S. states also had governors who are descendants of slaveholders. Rutgers found that they included 8 chief executives of the 11 states that formed the Confederate States of America, which seceded and waged war to preserve slavery. 2 are seeking the Republican nomination for president. Asa Hutch, the former governor of Arkansas, and Doug Burgum of North Dakota. Rutgers found that at least 8% of Democrats in the last Congress and 28% of Republicans had such ancestors. The preponderance of Republicans reflects the party's strength in the South where slavery was concentrated. Although white people enslaved black people in northern states in early America, by the eve of the Civil War, slavery was almost entirely a Southern enterprise. Let them tell it. Shit, slavery exists on a whole lot of levels. South Carolina, where the Civil War began, illustrates the family ties between lawmakers and the nation's history of slavery. Every member of the state's 9-person delegation to the last Congress has an ancestral link. Now, I had to stop here because they going on and on and on and on. And so, all this shit we talking about, reparations and every goddamn thing, I mean, I'm quite sure all these motherfuckers that they calling out, I'm quite sure they got some knowledge of their ancestors who held slaves. You see? And so, knowing that, are they going to denounce their ancestors? Yeah. Are they going to denounce their ancestors? Who was that? Which one y'all talking about? Oh yeah, you know I went on Jew Bomber. Yeah, you know I cracked his head a long time ago. But anyway, and that's what and that's why he not gonna denounce, because he gonna have to denounce his mammy. He gonna have to not denounce his mammy. He ain't gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? You gonna make a way, and so you gonna find some goodness in, where they were good people. They just, they were good people, and but they enslaved and tortured and spiritually and mentally and physically demoralized a whole people. But you can find some goodness in them, you see. And so the reality is, a lot of them motherfuckers in Congress gonna have to denounce their own. And that's really why they don't want, they want to, they want to have a rewritten history. They don't want to have a history that's going to show because you got to know at the end of the day that this is, and you talking about their great grandmammies and great grandpappies and shit like that. Listen, you got to understand, you got to put yourself in that predicament. I know you're not morally, I hope some of you niggas out there is scrubbing the bottom of the goddamn barrel when it comes to immorality. Scrubbing the bottom of the goddamn barrel. You see? But you got to ask yourself, and I'm not just talking about, say, you're not going, nigga, you imagine your great grandmama. And I ain't saying in no bad way. Can't nobody say nothing to you about your great grandmama. And I know she ain't, we know our grandmamas was moral. But, we just ain't going to let nobody say shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to say nothing about my great grandmama. I'm going to knock your ass out. Straight up. You going to sleep. I'm going to put hands on you. Straight up. My grandmama, my mama, I'm not going to let you say nothing. You see? Nothing at all. So you got to understand that people, their truth and your truth is two different truths. You see? You got to understand that. White people would not be in the position that they in if they did not have slavery. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You see? When you go to Britain, at that time, they were so immorally scrubbing the goddamn surface of hell that, you know what I'm saying? If it was any way possible that they could pull off the dynamics in America, they would have did it in Britain. They would have did it in Europe. They was you know what I'm saying? When they disconnected themselves from Africa, you see, when they thought they was better than Africa, and they I don't want to even say that we, they got to look at civilization. They always saying, well, Egypt is the mother of Greece. No, don't say no shit like that. They got their first glimpse at civilization, but they never was had any affiliation with Africa on no level from a spiritual, moral sense. They did not. You see, never did. And so when they did, and they were able, through a glimpse of civilization, able to achieve some things which did not last for long because it was in their nature to remain barbaric. And so Greece only lasted maybe 300 years and it failed. Rome only lasted about 300 years. It failed. You see what I'm saying? So, they never lasted that long. You see? And so when you talk about, the dynamics of what happened in America, it is very significant that you understand it was the minds of, they didn't just go to Africa and get no damn, somebody that was insignificant. They understood to get the skilled laborers. They knew, I mean, especially some of them down in certain parts of the South, South Carolina and shit like that were into the rice, and so they went into the areas of Africa where they knew, you understand what I'm saying? They was growing rice and so it was very strategic in where they went and who they brought over here. So they didn't just bring no nobodies. They brought skilled laborers and tradesmen. You understand what I'm saying? That knew, you understand, something of skill, of technology to bring here to America. You see? And so that's very significant. You see? And so if they had the ability to pull it off on their own, you feel me? They would have did that in Europe. You see, they was in the dark ages. They was up there so behind in filth, and you understand what I'm saying? They had the what they call Black Death, bubonic diseases and shit that came from out of Asia, came into still Europe. Europe is Asia, Eurasia. You see what I'm saying? And damn near wiped out because they was nasty. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they was nasty. You understand? That's just what it boiled down to. You see, so they hadn't even come into the proper understanding of hygiene yet, and still have it. If you want to be technical, you understand? And so when you look at what brought this country to where it is, they hide the history of how Black significantly, even in technology, you know what I'm saying? And hide these facts. And so they could never, have built this nation on their own. Matter of fact, many of them didn't even know how to survive when they got over here. Many of them damn early settlements, you understand what I'm saying, were totally decimated. You see, because they did not know what was going on, as far as the terrain and the foods and the medicines and the herbs that could, help a motherfucker when they got sick. And so they was over here eating each other, Yeah, they was over here eating each other and shit, digging the damn dead bodies up out the goddamn graves. Yeah, they was on. So that's to say, to be, and so, they just let you know right there. They're not gonna let you, even though they know it's a fact, they're not gonna let you just teach no shit like that. They ain't gonna let you, they ain't gonna let you just teach no shit like that. They ain't gonna let you demoralize them, even though they know it's facts. You see? And so, to have this conversation, see, it becomes personal. You see, it becomes personal because many times you talking to the Congress and you talking to these goddamn senators and these these so-called representatives and all of this, and they try to have the conversation like it's a general conversation. It was white people, but they don't say that these white people are members of their family. So to be able to call, and we need, I'm gonna dig deeper into this because this needs to be. I need, because it says Rutgers did this study, and I want to see exactly who the members and what slave master you see that they, that they descend from. You see, we need to know this. We need to see the money. Yeah, we need to see, we need to see how it come down through, that's very significant because it show you how they parlayed, that money into the, while we were still stuck. You see, because a lot of people ain't talking about, it ain't just the money. You see, when you think about the network, you see the networks that were built. That's significant, you know? Yeah. Yeah, money. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. How the money was developed, where it went, how it went from slavery into another goddamn, and when slavery was over, some of them went into the goddamn steam, where they went to move and, what they call the what is it? The mechanical industry. You see what I'm saying? With the, where they start dealing with the steamboats and shit and all of that. You see what I'm saying? They, and they started, making, machineries and shit and this, that, and the third. They moved their money over. Yeah. No networks that were built. Networks that were built, not networks that were, because what I'm saying is this. If you into business, you see what I'm saying? And you goddamn, you doing workings with and you doing dealings with people all over the country. You're building up systems over the years. You see, so when you come, your son ain't got, he's standing on a network. He's standing on a network. You see? Yeah. What's the first? Wait a minute. Let me see.
FRFIND.
The industrial age. So I don't know what that is, yeah, the industrial age. You see, the industrial age. And so, and then, but what I'm saying is, and then the son come along and he adds on to the network. You understand what I'm saying? The business grows and the network grows. You see, so when his son, which is the grandson, come along, it's way more extensive. When they need certain things to happen, they can pick up the goddamn phone. They got a Rolodex with all type of motherfuckers. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, make that call and shit for damn near everything. So every generation, you're adding to the network, your particular net. I'm talking about the slave master. So you could get money. It don't mean the guy because he got a network. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got a network. You see what I'm saying? You gonna have to build you a goddamn network. You see what I'm saying? That's how they can shut a motherfucker out of some shit. You understand what I'm saying? They can make you, and you won't even see the hand moving. You understand? They didn't build these networks up from goddamn time immemorial. It could be 8 or 9 goddamn generations that in each generation is adding to the network. So you can have money. That don't mean shit. They got a system. They got a fucking network where they could call all over the fucking world. They got Rolodexes for every situation. Nigga, you want to beef? Nigga, they can go in that motherfucker and make calls, nigga. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, shut that motherfucker. Yeah, shut that motherfucker down. Yeah, he don't know who he fucking with. Yeah, simple as that. So you got to understand, while we were standing still, they was building networks and business and really just straight power on how to, how to maintain power. You understand what I'm saying? Just like, when you talk about, just say, for instance, TV. They made a law where it couldn't be no more than about, on regular TV, they say it couldn't be no more than about 4 goddamn, you see, yeah, we did have that. It was, and you're right, we did have that. You see, we had that and it was destroyed, but I understand what you're saying. In certain areas, we did have that, but that's still a part of, you understand what I'm saying, the reparations. You see what I'm saying? You can't get that back. You understand what I'm saying? You can't just get that back. You see, you can't get that back because it takes, generations to establish shit like that. You see? Yeah, it takes generations to build shit like that. That's why when a motherfucker get a little money, he's still behind the pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Because he don't have the network. Motherfucker ain't got the network. They got a network. So when you talk about reparations, you got to deal with the fact, goddamn, nigga, you've been left out of those generational aspects where you building your system. Your sons and grandsons and great grandsons is handing down. See, that's inheritance. You inheriting a network, and you take that network. They're just like when you look at the Rockefellers and shit, and you see how the old man, John D. Rockefeller, then he handed down to his son, John D. Rockefeller Jr., and handed down, and each generation they expanded the damn empire further and further and further. Look at the Rothschilds, how they handed, and they kept flipping and flipping and flipping, and they everywhere now. They don't even have, you don't even know they change. They so slick, they'll change their name and still be a goddamn Rockefeller. They in there. They on that Jesuit shit. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's very critical. We don't even talk about all that shit. You just, nigga, get some money. They got a system though. And here, nigga, here go a couple dollars. Yeah, but they got a system. You see? Yeah. The Saudis is another one. Yeah. Yeah, they got a system. And that motherfucker been growing and growing to now where the motherfucker in power right now. You see what I'm saying? The son that's in power now, he wielding more power than any of them motherfuckers at any given time. It's more powerful. In each generation, you can see that his father added, you know what I'm saying? They, added more to Saudi Arabia. They built Saudi Arabia up. You can look at all these motherfuckers. They got a system. You see? And and so that is, and you got to understand that ain't gonna come with no reparation, man. You're gonna have to move in on that shit. You're gonna have to move that shit up out of here. You know what I'm saying? If you let them keep that system, it's no way. It's no way. You see what I'm saying? It's too much been going on. In a system, and when it's set, it's just so much that's going on behind the scenes and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remove that system regardless. I don't give a fuck what they try to give you, this, that, and the third. No way. Family, we're going to move on. We got some fire we're going to be putting down today. I don't want you to go nowhere because we ain't going. We got some more fire for the family. Make sure you check some of them links. They right there in the video description. Check them out. Get with the general, family, and we'll be right back. This General Cyrus Soon said, he said, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Get on these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals now. They still in power. Get on them. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.